Nice to meet you.
Same here,
After
brother
so
Phil.
many years,
Hey,
you know.
it's been a long time, brother Phil.
Yeah.
So nice to see you keeping well, eh?
Yeah, I've tried to. Well, as you want to know,
As way of introduction.
I worked for the world newspaper.
First, your name, brother Phil.
My name is Phil Nyamane. Now, in the journalism world, they always, cut names short. I was known as Phil Nyamane. I joined the world in 1969 and worked for them until its banning in 1975. I was the founding editor of the Sowetan. At the time, Sowetan was an inset of the world, but when the world was banned, the Sowetan became a newspaper. I was the founding sports editor of that newspaper. I used to write soccer, and when Leslie Siume retired, I switched to boxing. The soccer beat was given to Victor Tswai, guys like Bafana Shezi. From there, I went to join the Star in 1980, simply because I felt, the Sowetan was read by mostly blacks, and I wanted exposure. I joined the Star as a soccer writer, and years later, I switched to boxing at the request of my then sports editor, Julian Kentz. I retired in February 2002 after there were some changes at the Star, and years later, I freelanced for Sunday World as a boxing writer, but my contract was not extended.
Told me a very good story about how your relationship with Kimville United Brothers started as a journalist.
Well, as you can recall, in 1970 there was to have been the Airborne League. But before then, 1969, the clubs were playing mostly friendly games, And at the time, Don Manaka wrote a lot about Swallows. Elliot Makaya and Dola Takhomo wrote a lot about Chiefs and Orlando Pirates. Pubs didn't have somebody who could write their friendly games, so they approached Don Manaka to write their friendlies, and Don said, look, according to what he told me, he said he was committed to Roca Swallows, but we bring a youngster. And that's how I was introduced to Stephen Kasibe. I met Steve at Equasi Station Parkway. He was waiting for Parkway at the time. And that's how our relationship started. Now the Schoolboys at the time were just one of those ordinary teams, but they had a lot of potential. They played like a team. The highlight of their existence at the time was when they played Kaizer Chiefs at Orlando Stadium.
Yes.
There were 4 teams: Orlando Pirates, Roca Swallows, Kaizer Chiefs, and Kimville United Brothers. Now, Pubs were to play Chiefs, and everybody at the office, I recall, thought Pubs would be a walkover for Kaizer Chiefs, and I said, yes, that will happen. Indeed. Pubs trailed, if I recall.
What was your reason? You said
My reasoning was that Chiefs were more individualistic, They had talent, they had skill, and Pubs played more like a team. They had guys like Rolaway Ndlovu, George Best, Chris Ndlovu, and
Isaac
Negro, the goalkeeper Ben Fundisi, who was working at the Lions. So when those games were staged at Orlando Stadium, Pubs were trailing, if I recall, 3-0 at interval. They came back in the second half, and Chris and the Glovo brothers, and there was a tall midfielder, walk tall,
Vuma.
and the light complexion guy.
George Best.
No, I forget his name. No, it was not. I forget his name. They beat Chiefs 6-5, and that was the highlight, of my association with Scotland.
And then after that, you were invited to a function.
Yeah, we were the Zone 6 in Kimberley. It was a failed at the time, and I was invited to a function, year-end function. It was nice. I mean, from Steve and Bafo, I forget Bafo, he was a stout gentleman, were the real guys behind the team. Unfortunately for Puffs, I think it was in 1974, somebody who owned a business at Fayetteville shops close to the station appeared to interfere with the running of the club. Well, and he seemed to have the support of some officials whom I won't name. At the end of the day, that
Club
guy...
officials or the league officials?
League officials.
And the NPSL?
NPSL. At the end of the day, Pups just crumbled. Most of their players, like Phil Nyamane, George Best, Gosha, Chili Boy, Phil Nyamane, all went to Orlando Pirates. Today, Pups is history, but one hopes somebody somewhere will revive that team.
But what was it, Brafil, that attracted you to the club, that you were so confident that while they were not even popular, you said they would beat Kaiser Chiefs, which was made of stars?
You see, I always say there's a difference between how supporters look at the game. There are people who follow the ball, where it's going, and there are people who analyze the game. I want to believe I was a football analyst, because you might have the ball in the midfield, but my eyes look across to see who makes a run, and the guy who has the ball can pick up the guys who make runs. That was a difference.
So you had
there
what
are
they call a 3D.
football watchers,
Yes.
there are football analysts.
And then, so your favorite players in that squad? The people who made,
in pubs.
Yes, who made the team tick.
I wouldn't say they played as a team, but I would say Rolaway Ndlovu was a hot midfielder. He had beautiful pictures. He was skillful. He had speed and he had vision. He could change the game. And let's not forget Humphrey Madiba, short guy, striker, very fast. So Chris was the
heart.
Yeah.
And what about George Besmure?
George, if I'm not wrong, joined us from Hungry Lions. He was a naughty little boy. He was humor. He was full of humor.
Okay.
There's an incident that I won't forget. When Paps went to play Orlando Pirates, George went to one of the players and touched his front and said, "Hey, delight." Oh, really? And who was it? Jerry Sadiq. Sadiq incidentally was also in Paps. Yeah.
Okay.
So George, I really miss him. He was quite a humorous player and a character.
Brafil, we spoke a bit about Simon Bullehuku. We showed you a little bit of a clip of our interview with him.
Yeah.
What are your memories of Bullehuku?
Bull played for golf professionals, and he was a strong defender, center half. He later joined Chiefs, and it's said today that he's now on a wheelchair. I wish the league can do something for these veterans, because they really deserve. They were the guys who really kept the game going at a time when apartheid should have killed black football.
What are your memories of Bull as a player? Except the red card incident against Highlands Park.
Bull was strong. He was strong in the air. He was strong physically. He was not a fancy player. Once he won the ball, he played out. And he played during the era of Bo Esentsholeni, Kinish Tlatla. I don't know whether Johnny Magwegwe Mokwena was there. Siti Kole, who incidentally is in Mafikeng. I once met him, Siti Kole. He was a very, very tough guy to beat.
Phil, on Sunday we visited Ace Mini, Joel Ace Mini. What are your memories of Ace Mini?
Hey, that guy, Ace would run on the line with the ball, and he gave Ryder Mofokeng, who was playing right back for Chiefs, a lot of trouble. Nini, he was quick, he had a skill, funny. He was strictly left-footed, but he had such good ball control. You'll think that the ball is going to go out. No, he'll cut in from the touchline, you know.
Phil, there's a player that you spoke about. You told us a story about Mlungisi Ngubane.
Mlungisi was very skillful as well. He played for Amazulu. Bushbucks. Oh, the black and gold. Mlungisi Professor was very good. Not pacey, but very skillful. And technically, he was good. I once spoke to Professor. I was concerned about his weight because sometimes, you know, I would never criticize a player. If I looked at a player 2, 3, 4 games and I was not happy with his performance, I would approach the player and tell him, look, I think you are losing form. Do something about it. Now, with Professor Ngubane, whose brother, incidentally, Richard Ngubane, was a great player for Amazulu, the team that won the league title then,
in 1972.
I approached Professor and said, Prof, I'm not happy about your weight, do something about it. And he said to me, Rafael, you see, we skillful players don't need to train hard because we've got skill. The ordinary players have to train hard because they don't have skill. Unfortunately, Professor's weight, I think, is the one that made him retire early.
Phil, Kaizer Chiefs recently celebrated their 50th birthday. I think you covered them over many years. Can you recall maybe which are some of the best teams and best players that you have seen come and go at Kaizer Chiefs over the period that you covered them?
Esentsholeni will always be number one in the country, not only at Chiefs. Now, when this coach of Chiefs,
Eddie Lewis.
No, not Eddie Lewis. I forget his name. No. The skinny guy. No, the skinny guy.
White or black?
White. When he took over as coach of Kaizer Chiefs, he retired Ace. Jeff Butler. I wasn't happy about that because Ace was Ace. And I said to Kaizer, how can you allow Butler to retire Chiefs? You know what was Kaizer's answer? Phil, you are too sentimental about Ace. Now, I loved Ace like his son. You know, he was. I still say we still have to find another Esentsholeni. They come and go. Esentsholeni, Johnny Magwegwe Mokwena, Kinish Tlatla, Computer Lamola, who was from Preston Brothers incidentally, and of course Shakes Masham. I remember when the SA whites, blacks, colors, and Indians played. The captain of the SA Blacks was the late Ariel Khomane. Now, Jomo and Ace had a common advisor. I wouldn't call him, I don't know whether it's advisor or coach. A very, very prominent white called I forget his name. Now this guy said to me, "Hoekom Makeleni shakes the captains van die span?" You know, that's how Shakes was powerful. I mean, you could play midfield. Shakes was a fighter, and Shakes didn't ask for favors. It's like Pizzo Msimane. Pizzo doesn't like favors. He expresses his mind. He's not scared to speak his mind. So was Shakes, and Shakes was a good defender. He was a star player, and there was some of the players I recall. Shakes, the defender of PV United Brothers.
Shake.
No, Shakes, he was a defender. He had a long jaw.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not Tokyo Solang.
No, Tokyo Solang is the guy with the light complexion.
With the light complexion.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
Tokyo
Paps.
Yeah.
Tokyo Solang.
Ben Kwape.
Ben Kwape. Ben was a street player. You know, there's a difference between a player and a defender. For a team to be successful, you need a combination of both, you know. Ace, for instance, was a footballer. Jomo was a footballer. Ariel Khomani was a footballer. Johnny Magwegwe was a footballer. Mikro Muripe was a footballer. Let Them Dance, Molala was a footballer. Those are guys, Sugar Ray Kulu,
Wellington Wesi.
Wellington Wesi, Bloemfontein Celtic,
Mangaung
United.
United, yes.
You know, as I always say, there's a difference if there's a footballer and a player. A player is anybody who can kick a ball, but a footballer has to have the brains, the skill, the technique, and you can change the game when things are tough. Guys like Ace, Jomo, Ariel, Johnny Magwegwe, Mikro Miripe, those are guys who
Complete footballers.
Incidentally, Mikro was the first black player to win Footballer of the Year. I remember there was this orange sports star of the year. Mikro won it, and when you are supposed to come to the function, Mikro was nowhere to be found. And my sports editor, the world's Leslie Sume, said to me, "Go and look for Mikro." I went to Atteridgeville. When I got there, I asked, "Where's Mikro?" I couldn't find him, and they said, "Look, go to Marama Start at the bicycle, maybe he's there." Indeed, I went there. And at the time, Marama Start was the hometown of Pretoria Sundowns. When I got there, I went into the bicycle and I looked for Mikro. Somebody, the usher said, "No, he's in there." I looked for Moripe and I found him, and I said, "Hey, Mikro, Wabatlecha, this is, you want this, you are supposed to go to China." You know what Mikro said? "I'm not people." I can't remember whether he ultimately came to the function or not, but he was the first black player to win 12 the sportsman.
Profil, there's another story, a beautiful analogy that you made about a player who came to you for advice.
Yeah.
On which club to join. And then
Well,
you told him.
You look at Swallows today, and I want to believe Swallows got relegated because they had too many nice guys, you know, as officials. There was a guy who came to me one day and said, "Hey, Profil, I want to turn professional. Which team must I join?" I said, "Look, if you believe in skill, go to Chiefs. If you believe in fast attacks and straight passing, go to Morocco Swallows. But if you want a team that has passion, that has fighting spirit and never gives up, go to Orlando Pirates. That's how I analyze the three teams, you know. Now, if you were to go to see a good player and go to Chiefs and say, look, I saw a good player at such a place, they'll say, okay, we'll go and see him. You go to Swallows, Swallows will say, look, we'll speak to their parents about that player. But if you go to Pirates, they'll take you and say, go and show us. Let's go and fetch him now. That is why Pirates is still Pirates today. They don't wait for tomorrow. They do things at the same time. Thanks
Okay.
for your
Thank
visit.
you very much, Brother
Keep
Phil.
well.
Okay.
Sure.